Did I hear somebody say their favorite part of Christmas was presents? You like
There. Maybe that will stop this Christmas nonsense.
Every person at Lavon Drive liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch's garland cousin, well, he did not. We all know about the Grinch from Whoville and his Christmas conversion, but for the Grinch's garland cousin, he still had quite an aversion. He barely tolerated Christmas on December 25th, but Christmas at February, to be honest, he was miffed. He moped all through dinner and did not interfere, but at the mention of presents, it was just too much good cheer. And the more the Grinch thought of this Christmas in spring, the more the Grinch thought,
I must stop this whole thing. These people are so greedy, so obsessed with their presents.
And the Grinch hatched a plan that was decidedly unpleasant.
I'll sabotage their Christmas.
The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat.
Though I wish the coat were a little longer. These tights are a bit, immodest.
And he chuckled and clucked.
I know just what I'll do. I'll turn off their lights and steal their presents too.
So he shut off the lights, interrupted the show, then slithered and slunk through the foam Christmas snow. He went straight to work on the first little tree, but when he picked up the present, it was light as a flea. The box was a fake, and when he turned it around, he was puzzled and he furrowed his eyes as he frowned. Not to be deterred, he moved on to the next. It was just as the last, and he began to be perplexed. From present to present, they were all just decoys. No selfish indulgences of goodies and toys. This was not going as planned. There were no presents to steal. Turning the boxes around, just a name would reveal. The names seemed familiar. He had heard them before. He had read our Global Focus book and, what is more, his Whoville Grinch cousin, whose heart had been turned, had been telling his cousin about this Christ he had spurned. And suddenly it made sense, as the Grinch stood in shame, for on each box was inscribed a missionary's name. The people of the church were not giving gifts for themselves. Why, in fact, they were more like Santa's little elves. It was Christmas for the missionaries, a quite different holiday than the December celebration that had just been underway. And as he thought through his conduct, his behavior, as it were, the Grinch realized he had been a most sinful saboteur. This Christmas wasn't about getting, it was about giving, he saw. And suddenly he didn't mind all the hoopla. He realized his error and knelt down to pray, and it has been said that his heart grew 3 sizes that day. His Whoville Grinch cousin would be so proud of him now, if only he could make things right somehow. Then he realized,
I know, I can host this celebration.
So he turned on the lights, and with much jubilation, he invited the people of Lavon Drive to stand, to lift up their voices with a proclamation most grand. He first said,
I'm sorry for being so malicious.
Then turning to the missionaries, everyone said, Merry Christmas.